G'day Hobie Cat Sailors, Turbo Tim here. Gonna go through a quick video and how I rig up my 14 turbo. 14 turbo, much like a 16, has a jib on it. Jib halyard system, comes down the front of the mast, much the same as a 16. No battens in this though, it's a curled up jib, furled jib, down to a furler on the front of the bridle wires. So this is how I set it up without using the step. You've all seen the Hobie mast step hinge before. It rigs down to the bottom of the mast step here. Fixed into place where this bolt is, the idea is you insert the hook with a hole through it, lines up into the mast step hinge, you then put a pin through. What was happening for me as I raised the mast into this position, with the weight of the mast coming down on top of this hinge, it was always hard to be able to pull that pin out. Also as well, once I was sailing and I wanted to bring the mast down, folding this up into place, I could never align those pins, the pin through the holes together in order to drop that all down. So it was always pretty scary of this pin slipping out and the mast jumping out of place. I've come up with a way to do away with using that step hinge. So all I do instead, I use this piece of rope. It's about 20 odd centimeters long. I feed it through the hole where the pin used to go in the step hinge. About 5 centimeters of rope or of loop is all you really need. So we'll go a bit shorter, somewhere around there. I tie that off with a clove hitch just onto my tramp rope. And to be honest, length does come into play. We'll talk about that in a moment, but really 5 centimeters or thereabouts is enough. Next thing I do, take the hook, put it underneath that bolt, tighten up the jib halyard. By pulling on the jib halyard and making that nice and tight, what it does is it brings the actual mast down and locks this into position. So providing that's nice and tight, I can't push that mast out of this step. That's all locked into place. And then it's simply raising the mast up, and I'll do that now by climbing onto the boat. Check that all of your wires are clear, your shrouds aren't going to hook up onto anything. And as you raise the mast, that hook stays nice and tight underneath that bolt. That rope ensures things all stay where they should. Mast goes up, tighten up the jib. Now with that halyard nice and tight and cleated into place, what you can see here is the rope. It's still pretty loose, but what it does is as the mast rotates, it doesn't allow these stoppers to bang against the front of the actual step. Mine are wearing out, they're fairly mutilated from banging in there. This is something I found. I leave this rope attached now when I do go sailing to stop that mast over rotating and banging up against the front. You can tighten it up I suppose if you want, or loosen it completely off, or depends on how much mast rotation you want to have in there, and everyone's got their idea on that. Now to lower it, same thing. All I've got to do is ensure this is all nice and in line. Uncleat the halyard, bring enough rope through so it's not going to stop me bringing it down the entire way. I've got the weight of the mast resting on my shoulder, and then from here slowly walk back, allowing that step hook to go back in under that bolt, and I can place the mast down. If it were to jump out at any stage, I'll do that right now, you'll find that that rope holds everything, stops things from falling out of place. So the mast back down in the cradle, that hasn't come loose and drifted up and caused a nightmare or banged around or anything it doesn't not supposed to. Being a clove hitch, they do come undone pretty easily. All you've got to do is a bit of a wiggle and they'll free themselves up. And then I can pack the mast away on the trailer for another happy day sailing. I'm Turbo Tim, this is my Hobie 14 Turbo, and I'll see you on the water.